Hello, welcome back to Blender Sushi Live Noding. This episode is going to be a quick addendum to my previous live noding on how you can parse the data from the iPhone 10 app that Alicia Hung is developing. So yeah, this is kind of like an improvement of the previous setup. And so basically the idea is you have an iPhone 10 and then you use the app by Alicia, and then you record and capture your face animations at 60 frames per second or 30 frames per second. Actually, the app was set up to capture at 30 frames per second. And once you've done the capturing, you can also capture the recording of the audio if you know how. If you don't know, you can ask me. You can go to the iTunes and you go under the file sharing under the app and just grab the data. And I just did a quick recording just now, and so it captured my face there for every frame of recording. And there's a face data here. And the face data should look something like just like a bunch of text. It's actually looking something like this. I just drop it into Blender. So it's a lot of data per line. So per frame, it captures all the raw data. It captured the matrix orientation of the head, maybe I think the camera of the iPhone, and then 1,220 points of the mesh. This is the raw data, but there's also like the blend coefficient for the blend shapes. I think Apple provides like in their kit, they provides like around 60 of blend shapes, and I haven't actually tried this one yet. So the blend shape coefficient should be like a good attributes that you can plug to your own character head to create some kind of animojis experience. So that's gonna be fun, but that's gonna be for the next live loading. For this one, I will summarize again what I did previously, and then I will show you how to do the baking using Blender. Because if you just try to run it, it's not gonna be real time. Normally what I did is to export it out as Alembic and then bring it back in, and you will see there's a few gotcha that you need to know. So this is actually the original face. It's a sideways, but it's okay. This is the original face that I capture using my own app. There's another different app. So basically it's there's like a two steps. Okay, let me explain what's going on. So basically what I did before, I parsed the data. Just say from all this data, we just take the raw data and we get these points. And this is the points, 1,220 points, representing every single points of the face geometry. This is actually not super high realistic, but it's a nice, like a coarse representation of your face animations. And once I get these points, I actually bring it to Blender using Spreadshock add-on. So this target points, this is the raw data from this guy right here, and I bring it in all together just to create the other face, which is this guy right here. It's triangulated by default, but anyway. From this one, I generate a real mesh data. It's called alpha, and the result should be this guy right here. And if you notice with Spreadshock, of course, and with Alembic as well, I'm not sure if Alembic has a UV map, but it might has, but I'm not sure. But anyhow, this is 150 frames that I just capture. Basically, this is my face saying, if you want to blend, you need a blender. Very simple. And we can export it out. If you try to file, export Alembic, it's not going to work right away because we need to kind of trick Blender to let it export. Just need to apply displacement. Apply displacement modifier and then set the strength to 0. Now you can actually export it out. So export as Alembic. 1 to 150 by that's already set. Selected objects only. Make sure the frame per second is correct. I already set it up to 30 frames per second. Export Alembic, and just wait a few seconds. So Oh yeah, by the way, with this one, I actually already set up the matrix in my latest blend zip that I shared on GitHub. I also provide this matrix node setup. So I think the first 16 values in this data is actually the matrix of face orientations, and it's looking something like this. Yeah, it's not that complicated. It's just like 16 values I plug into this little script node. The script node is actually just put the matrix together. If you want to look at the script, it's this one right here. I already provided to you on GitHub. I think this can be improved, but this is the simplest I can get. I think I grabbed it from Blender Stack Exchange. This put 16 values back into the matrix, and apparently it's working. It's working pretty well. So now I've done with this, and go to File, New. So it's a fresh Blender file. I'm gonna File, Import, Alembic, go to Desktop. So that's the file. Okay, a scale, maybe I scale it to 5. Import Alembic. Okay, now it seems to be working. So I noticed sometimes there's a slight jitter. It could be my hand, or it could be like something that can be improved. Maybe the matrix, with the matrix we need to do some kind of smoothing or something. But anyhow, this is the thing running in real time, I believe. That's set to 24. Maybe I need to set it up to 30. Maybe I'll delete everything, import it again. If you want to blend, you need a blender. If you want to blend, you need a blender. So that's what I said, I think. If you want to blend, you need a blender. Okay, that's pretty cool. Seems to be working. This character is looking this way. Maybe that's the orientations also need to be fixed, I think, because Blender XYZ world axis is actually kind of tilted 90 degree in X. You might notice that this mesh doesn't have UV. That's because of maybe Alembic or because of Spectral. I'm gonna save this real quick on the desktop. So this is a face capture bake, and I don't have the UV. So is that gonna be a problem? No, because you can grab I think the original face, if I'm not wrong. Let me go back to the other file. So the original face, this guy right here, actually have the UV. And if I go to File, Export, OBJ, just save it there. And then go to the bake head, and then File, Import, OBJ, just get the head. I think it should be all good. And if you, actually did I export both of them? Well, doesn't matter. Check the UV for the head. So this guy got it. This is wrong. This one is wrong. This one doesn't have it. Okay, that's the head that we need. Back to default view. Select this guy and select this guy. Control L. Transfer UV map. So now this guy have a UV. You can delete this guy. For this bake mesh, now it has the UV. We can create a new material. We can test it using a texture, and we just map it my monkey texture here. Create a light. So there you go. That's actually based on a Monkey King face. You might know the Chinese legend of the Monkey King. So that's just very rough very rough mask face painting that I did using Blender as well. So yeah, there's my face talking. At this stage, really, you can basically export it out as an app. If you can put it in a game or as a augmented reality kind of content. You can also put a sound, and I will probably upload a demo of the result. Yeah, at this point, this is basically like a very good data is kind of ready. There's a jitter with a matrix. Maybe that can be smooth. That's one thing. Oh yeah, the eyes and the teeth. That's the thing. So this guy, you can look at it as like a generic kind of raw data that you can use as a wrapper. If you actually have a character, a full head scan of the character with hair and with all the accessories, you can then wrap the shape using these animations. You just wrap it somehow. That I think that will work. So yeah, in the next live noding, I probably gonna be experimenting with the blend shape coefficients. Like just applying it into a different character head instead of this original face of mine. Just because this is just like a generic data of your own face, it's gonna be boring unless you use your own character head, and it's gonna be interesting. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this live noding. Hopefully you enjoy it. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye.